ओके। वंदेहम श्री गुरु श्री उद्धवपदकमलम श्री गुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपम सागर जातम सगुण रघुनाथान्वितम तम सजीवम साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां सगललिता श्री विशाखान्विताश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्यानंदे नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यादि पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। सर्वशास्त्राब्धि पीयूष सर्ववेदिक सत्फल सर्वसिद्धांत रत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकत्रप्रद सर्वभागवत पुराण श्रीमद्भागवत ग्रंथो कलिध्वांतोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तित परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमवर्षक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमस्तु मे मदेक बंधो मत्संगिन मद्गुरो मन्महाधन मन्निस्तारक मद्भाग्य मदानंद नमस्तुते साधु साधुता दायिन् अतिनीचोच्चताकरम् आनमुञ्चितदाचिन्माम् प्रेम्णा हृत्कण्ठयोस्फुर। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Okay, so today we will take up 2.4.11 to 2.4.16. Text 11. Suthovacha इत्युपमन्त्रितो राज्ञा गुणानुकथने हरे ऋषिकेश मनुस्मृत्य प्रतिवक्तुं प्रचक्रमे. Sutta Goswami said, when Shukadeva Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered the master of the senses, Sri Krishna, and to reply properly, he spoke thus. प्रचक्रमे देवता गुरु नमस्कारादि रूपम उपक्रमं कृतवान् इत्यर्थः. He executed the preliminaries. Prachakrami executed the preliminaries by offering obeisances unto uh, his worshipable deity, who will be the subject of uh, his talk, as well as his spiritual master and so on. ऋषिकेशं सर्वेन्द्रिय प्रवर्तकमिति मद्वाची स एव स्थित्वा प्रतिवदत्व इत्यभिप्रायेण ऋषिकेशम अनुस्मृत्य. He properly remembered Rishikesha, the master of the senses, the one who impels all the senses. So the idea was that the idea of Shukadeva Goswami was, may the Supreme Lord himself situate himself in my speech and reply to this king. The devotees of the Lord, while delivering speeches and describing the transcendental attributes of the Lord, do not think that they can do anything independently. They think that they can speak only what they are induced to speak by the Supreme Lord, the master of the senses. The senses of the individual being are not his own. The devotee knows that such senses belong to the Supreme Lord and that they can be properly used when they're employed for the service of the Lord. The senses are instruments and elements are ingredients, all endowed by the Lord. Therefore, whatever an individual can do, speak, see, etc., is under the direction of the Lord only. The Bhagavad Gita 15.15 confirms this. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto mattasmritirjnanam apohanam cha. No one is free to act freely and independently, and as such, one should always seek the permission of the Lord to act or eat or speak. And by the blessing of the Lord, everything done by a devotee is beyond the principles of the four defects, typical of the conditioned soul. Well, text 12. Shishukrovacha. Namah parasmai purushaya bhuvyase. Sadudbhavasthana nirodha leelaya. गृहीत शक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम अंतर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्तमाने. Shukadeva Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who for the creation of the material world accepts the three modes of nature. He is the complete whole residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. Tadevaha Trayodashabhi. So that uh, preliminary in the form of a prayer to Lord Rishikesha is now described in 13 verses. So he spoke 13 verses. Parasmai, Sarvottamaya, Putra Hetu. The reason why he's offering obeisances unto the Supreme Being is Bhuyase. Aparimita Mahimne. Bhuyase means the complete whole. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is a complete whole. Sridhar Swami says that it indicates that his glories are unlimited. Tad darshayati. And then he points out that how his glory is unlimited. Sataha prapanchasya udbhavadishu nimitta bhutaya leela taya grihitam brahmadi rupena rajadi shakti pritayam yena tasmai. He's the one through his pastime that is instrumental for creation, maintenance, and destruction of this material existence. He accepts the three potencies in the form of Rajoguna, Satoguna, Tamoguna, in the forms of Brahma and so on. He accepts the three modes of material nature in this manner. This material world is a manifest. Okay, wait. Continue. Antarbhavaya. There is Antarbhavaya. And to him who resides within means he resides within as the inner controller. Ateva sarva antaratva an upalakshmiyam vartmayasi. And therefore, his ways are inconceivable. Tatra prathamam bhagavad tattvam vivrinvan namaskuroti. Nama iti trayodasham. So first of all, Shukadeva Goswami elaborates on the truth of Bhagavan by offering obeisances unto him in 13 verses. Parasmai, unto the Supreme, specifically refers to Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Yataha bhuyase, because he is the complete whole. Sarvatah paripurna. Tataha hi amshatah purushadi rupaya swatah tu anupalakshya vartmane. Therefore, he accepts the form of the Purushas and so on in order to conduct this pastime of creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material manifestation. But he is personally, his ways are inconceivable. Purushaya means Purushottamaya, the Supreme Person, or the personality of God, Shri Krishna. Prathamam Aishwaryamaha. So first of all, he points out the Aishwarya, or the opulence of Lord Krishna. Bhuyase, Purushyadya Avatara Leela Maha. So that word Bhuyase indicates that Krishna is all opulent. Purushadya Avatara Leela Maha Samudbhavet. It looks like he has a reading Samudbhava instead of Sadudbhava. In any case, this pastime Sadudbhavatana Nirodha Leelaya, or through this pastime of the creation of the material world, its maintenance and its winding up, takes place through the Purusha Shakti Tritayam Rajas Sattva Tamaha. The three potencies are the three modes of material nature. Rajoguna, Satoguna, Tamoguna. द्वितीय तृतीय पुरुषावतार लीलामाह देहिनां ब्रह्मादीनां समष्टि व्यष्टीनां अंतर्भवाय अंतर्यामिनी देहिनां अंतर्भवाय, he who resides within all who possess material bodies. This is a reference to the second and third Purusha. So the Supreme Lord enters into their bodies, and that is the pastime of the second and third Purusha. In that way, collectively or individually, he enters into various bodies, such as Brahma's body. Anupalakshya Vartmani. His ways are inconceivable. Anupalakshyam yogivirapi durgyayam varto bhakti yogaha yasya tasmai is the pathway to him is inconceivable. That is how he interprets this. The pathway to him is bhakti yoga. And it is inconceivable even for yogis, Ashtanga yogis, and so on. This material world is a manifestation of the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And the Supreme Lord, for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world, accepts three predominating forms as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankara, Shiva. As Vishnu, he enters into every body materially created. As Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he enters into every universe. And as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, he enters the body of every living being. Lord Shri Krishna, being the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas, is addressed here as Parah Puman or Purushottama. Parasmai Purushaya. This is fourth case singular in Sanskrit grammar. But in first case singular, it will be transformed into Parah Puman. It means the same. Or Purushottama, as described in the Bhagavad Gita 15.18. He is the complete whole. The Purushavataras are therefore his plenary expansions. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by which one can become competent to know him. Because empiric philosophers and mystic yogis cannot conceive of the personality of God, it is called Anupalakshya Vartmane, the Lord of the inconceivable way, or Bhakti Yoga. Bhuyo namastan vrijina chide satam asambhavaya akhila sattva murtaye pursam punah param hamsya ashrame vyavasthitanam anumrigyata shushe. I again offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of the complete existence and transcendence, who is the liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses, and the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devoted demons. For the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destinations. Akhila Sattva Murtaye. What is that? Akhila Sattva Murtaye. Unto the personality of complete goodness. Madhvacharya says, Akhila Sattva Murtaye means the one whose form is entirely spiritual, entirely good. Good in the sense, like sadhu means good, something which is desirable, good. And then he quotes from Mahasamhita. Nishesha Gunapurnatvat Sattva Ityeva Tam Viduhu. Sattva is a name of Lord Vishnu because he has unlimited transcendental, because he's full of unlimited attributes, auspicious attributes. Vichitra Phalava Datritvam Manusmaran Pranamati. Sukadeva Goswami remembers that Lord Krishna, he bestows a variety of results. Bhuya Punascha Namaha. I again offer my obeisances. Satam Dharmavartinam Virjina Chide Dukha Hantre. For the pious souls, he is the destroyer of all distress. Asatam, adharmashilanam, asambhavaya, an udbhava etave. And for those who are habituated to adharma, he is the cause of their non-prominence or non-development. Akhila Sattva-murtaye tattat devataadi rupena tattat phaladaya iti arthaha. It's a form of complete existence. Means indicates that in the form of the various devatas who are all being worshipped individually and separately, he is the one who grants all of them their respective results. Samagra Sattva-murtaye itiva. Another meaning is the meaning that Prabhupada has given is the form of complete existence and transcendence. Punariti purvauta ubhaya vailakshanyamaha. Again, or punaha means again, indicates another reason for offering obeisances unto him, which is different from the reason that was specified in the first half of the verse and in the previous verse. Yes. Tatra swaprayojanam leelavataram darshayannaha bhuya iti dvabhya. So then he points out the Lord's purpose and his pastime incarnation in two verses, beginning with Bhuya, beginning with text 13. Satam Veda Marga Anusarinam Devadinam Dukkhahantre. He destroys the distress of the Devas and others who are dharmic, who follow the pathway of the Vedas. Asatam Tad Bahirmukhanam. And for those who are averse to that pathway, Ityadinam api, even for the Daityas, Asambhavaya, Muktidaya, he gives liberation. Pumsam Punariti, Atra Anumridyam Bhakti Yogai Swadhyam Swacharnarvindam Evageyam. Anumridya Dashishu, he delivers the destination for the Paramahamsas amongst the transcendentalists. That refers to his lotus feet, which can be released only through Bhakti Yoga. Because in the first canto, Kunti Devi has already made a statement. Tatha Paramahamsana Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Tatham Pashyama Histriya on 1.8.20. You descend in order to bestow Bhakti Yoga to the spotless souls, the Paramahamsa sages. And it is also it is also described in the third canto, 3.15.37. Kripa Madhurya Maha. Sukadeva Goswami now speaks about the sweetness of Krishna's compassion. Bhuya, Punarapi Namaha. Again I offer my obeisances. Sadvrijina Chide, Ramakrishna Dhyavataraihi, Swabhakta Dukha Hantre. In the incarnations of Ramachandra, Krishnachandra, and so on, the Supreme Lord destroys the distress of the dharmic souls, meaning those engaged in Bhagavata Dharma, their own devotees. Asatam, Papinam, Abhakta, Rakshasa, Asura, Adinam api, Swakartrika Vadhena, Asambhavaya, Samyak Bhavad Dukkha Nivartakaya. And for the sinful people, he removes he completely removes the presence of distress in them by killing them, even if they are his They are not his devotees, and even if they are Rakshasas, Asuras, and so on. Khilam Nikrishtam Prakritam Sattva. Akhilam Prakrishtam Aprakritam Sattva. Shuddha Sattvam Murtihi Shariram Yasya Tasmai. Akhila Sattva Murtaye. Akhila, he divides it into A plus Khila. Khila means inferior, and Khila Sattva will mean material Sattva, Prakrita Sattva. Akhila Sattva will refer to superior Sattva or transcendental Sattva, Shuddha Sattva. His very form or body is made out of Shuddha Sattva. Paramahamsanam bhavaha paramahamsyam tasmin vishaye ya ashrayah tatra visheshatah avasthitanam bhakti mishra jnaninam shuddha bhaktanam cha anumrigyah anumrigyah yaha brahmanandah premanandah cha tasya tasya dashishe datre. The second half of the verse means he is the shelter of the Paramahamsa. This refers to those who are jnanis with a tinge of bhakti or the Shuddha Bhaktas. So for the Bhakti Mishra Jnanis, this Bhakti Mishra Jnana is different from Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Bhakti Mishra Jnana means Jnana with a tinge of Bhakti. Jnana Mishra Bhakti means Bhakti with a tinge of Jnana. So for the Bhakti Mishra Jnanis, he awards them the bliss of the experience of Brahmananda. For the Shuddha Bhaktas, he awards them the bliss of the experience of Bhagavad Prema, love for himself. Lord Shri Krishna is a complete form of all existence, both material and spiritual. Akhila means complete, or that which is not Khila, inferior. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, there are two kinds of nature, Prakriti, namely the material nature and the spiritual nature, or the external and internal potencies of the Lord. The material nature is called apara, or inferior, and the spiritual nature is called superior or transcendental. Therefore, the form of the Lord is not of the inferior material nature. He is complete transcendence, and he is Murti, or having transcendental form. The less intelligent men who are unaware of his transcendental form describe him as impersonal Brahman. But Brahman is simply the rays of his transcendental body, Yasya Prabha. The devotees who are aware of his transcendental form render him service. Therefore, the Lord also reciprocates by his causeless mercy, and thus delivers his devotees from all distresses. The pious men who follow the rulings of the Vedas are also dear to him, and therefore the pious men of this world are also protected by him. The impious and the non-devotees are against the principles of the Vedas, and so such persons are always hampered from making advances in their nefarious activities. Some of them who are specially favored by the Lord are killed by him personally, as in the cases of Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and Kamsa, and thus such demons get salvation and are thereby checked from further progress in their demoniac activities. But here it should be pointed out, as Rupa Goswami specifies in his Bhagavatamrita. His Bhagavatamrita is Laghu Bhagavatamrita. When Krishna in the form of Swayam Bhagavan kills, then he gives them liberation. Liberation in the full sense, 5 types of moksha. When he kills in the form of his expansions, in the form of Nrsimha, in the form of Rama, he liberates them from sinful reactions, offensive reactions, and so on, and grants them superior birth. This is quite nicely explained by directly quoting Vishnu Purana. He quotes from Vishnu Purana for explaining this. So there are different levels of liberation. Even Madhvacharya also refers to the Devas as being liberated souls, but not in the complete sense of liberation. Some kind of partial liberation. You are at least liberated from sinful reactions. Papa Mukti. There is something called Papa Mukti. just like a kind father, either in his favor upon the devotees or his punishment of the demons. He is ever kind to everyone because he is the complete existence for all individual existence. The Paramahamsa stage of existence is the highest perfection stage of spiritual values. According to Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord is factually understood by the Paramahamsas only, as there is gradual realization of the transcendence from impersonal Brahman to localized Paramatma to the personality of Godhead, Purushottama, Lord Krishna. Similarly, there is gradual promotion of one's situation in the spiritual life of sannyas. Ukichaka, Bhakutaka, Parivrajaka, Acharya, Paramahamsa, gradual progressive stages in the renounced order of life sannyas. And Queen Kunti Devi, the mother of the Pandavas, has spoken about them in her prayers to Lord Krishna, Canto 1, Chapter 8. The Paramahamsas are generally found among both the impersonalists and theists, but according to Srimad Bhagavatam, as clearly stated by Kunti Devi, pure Bhakti Yoga is understood by the Paramahamsas, and Kunti Devi has especially mentioned that the Lord descends Pritranaya Sadhana, especially to award Bhakti Yoga to the Paramahamsas. So ultimately, the Paramahamsas, in the true sense of the term, are unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami has directly accepted that the highest destination is Bhakti Yoga, by which one renders transcendental loving service to the Lord. Those who accept the path of Bhakti Yoga are the factual Paramahamsas. Since the Lord is very kind to everyone, the impersonalists who accept Bhakti as the means of merging into the Lord's impersonal existence, the Brahmajyoti, are also awarded their desired destination. He has assured everyone in the Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Ye yatha maam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamiham. According to Srila Vishnu Chakravarti, there are two classes of Paramahamsas, namely the Brahmanandis, impersonalists, and the Premanandis, devotees. And both are awarded their desired destinations, although the Premanandis are more fortunate than the Brahmanandis. But both the Brahmanandis and the Premanandis are transcendentalists, and they have nothing to do with inferior material nature, full of the existential miseries of life. Existential miseries of life mean miseries of life that are part and parcel of material existence itself. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhuji, how Srila Prabhupada is translating Paritranaya?
Wait. Why am I not hearing? Okay, please repeat.
In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Paritranaya sadhanam, he's translating as awarding Bhakti Yoga to Paramahamsas. How is this like? We read in Gita that it's protecting the devotees.
Yeah. And then there are Paramahamsa devotees. He protects the Paramahamsa devotees by giving them Bhakti Yoga. There are different levels of protection.
So this is one level, and what are other levels?
At lower level, when you're in a lower state, then he gives you what you require to help you progress.
Like to me, protection means like one may be material protection, physical, bodily. One may be spiritual protection.
Yeah, but
So
as
if
one progresses more and more, one is more interested in spiritual protection, no? So naturally, Krishna also is sensitive to that, and therefore he provides that.
okay.
And one is a Paramahamsa, obviously, he's not interested in the protection of his body. You can see with Jada Bharata, who's not interested in the protection of his body.
Mm-hmm. Yes, bro.
Text 14. Namo namaste ऋषभाय सात्वतां विदुर काष्ठाय मुकुः योगिनां निरस्त साम्याति शयेन राधसा स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रमस्यते नमः. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty, and who is always a problem for the non-devotee. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Okay, well, so Satwatam. Satwatam refers to devotees. And Satvatam Rishabhaya indicates that the Supreme Lord is the protector of his devotees. Who yogi nam refers to the non-devotees. And Vidura Kasthaya means indicates that he is extremely far away from him. One cannot even find out the direction in which he is for them. Durgyeya, he is, his situation is absolutely ununderstandable for them. Tadevam Vaishamya Pratitavapi Nirdoshatvaya Achintyam Aishwaryamaha. So even though it appears that he is partial to one group, in reality, he is spotless. So this is his inconceivable opulence, which is now set out in the second half of the verse. Nirastam samyam atishayah cha yasya tat apekshaya anyasya samyam atishayascha nasti. There is no one else who is equal to him or better than him. Ena radhasa aishwaryena, with that opulence, swadhamani, swaswarupe, in his own situation, brahmani, ramamanaya, he is blissful in his own status. Tatra antaranga prayojanamaha. This is the Lord's own internal purpose. Satvatam, Yadavaya, Rishabhaya, Yadavanam Rishabhaya. He is the leader of the Yadavas. Tai saha nana viharartham avatirnaya, which indicates that he has descended along with them in order to sport with them. That means he's an associate of them. Even though he's supposed to be the leader, in reality, he deals with them like just another member of the other dynasty. Tathapi, despite that, Kuyoginam, Tad Bahirmukha Yoganishtanam, Vidura Kasthaya. Nevertheless, he is very far away. His situation is very far away from those who are fixed in other forms of yoga that are averse to him. Punascha, again, Yathavad Avasthitim Eva Darshayati. His factual situation is described in the second half of the verse. Brahmani, Brahmaswarupe, Swadhamani, Swakiya, Vaikunthe, Ramsiyate, Tat Paschat Ramamanai. He finds delight in his own abode, Vaikuntha, which is entirely spiritual in nature. Aishwarya Madhurya Paripurnatva. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in this verse, Shukadeva Goswami points out that Krishna's Aishwarya and Madhurya both are completely perfect. Namo Nama iti vipsaya nirantarameva nama iti artha. Namo Nama. He has repeated this word namas. It's originally namas, which becomes namah. So this repetition indicates that he is uninterruptedly offering obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna. Te tubhyam iti yushmat pada prayogena sakshatkarat sveshta devatvam dvanitam. And he is saying, I offer my obeisances unto you. Instead of saying, I offer my obeisances unto him in third person, he is saying, I offer my obeisances unto you, second person. So from this, it is hinted that he is directly experiencing this Supreme Person. And from that, it can be further surmised that he is his worshipable deity. Satvatam refers to a certain portion of the Yadavas. The Yadava group, Yadava dynasty was very big. And within that, there was a particular portion within which he was born. on part of the lineage in which he was born. So Satvatam Rishabhaya here refers to Devaki Nandana, the son of Devaki. Satvatam Bhaktanam Palakaya ityarthastu Purushloki Vyanjita eva. The statement that that he is a protector of the devotees in general, that was already explicit in the previous verse. कुयोगिनां भक्तिहीनानां विदुराकाष्ठा दिग्गपि यस्य तस्मै न च त्वं दूरे वा गुप्तो वा वर्तसे इत्याह. For the non-devotees, they are not able to find even a sense to where he is. But you are not actually far away, nor are you hiding anywhere. With this in mind, he speaks the second half of the word. Radhasa Aishwaryena Swadhamani Mathuramandale Amsyate Amamanaya. You are sporting in your own abode, Mathura Mandala, with your own opulence. Ramanochita Janaihi Saha iti Arthataha Gamyam. It can be inferred that he is enjoying with personalities who are fit to be enjoyed by him. Swadhamani Kidrishe. What kind of abode? Brahmani, Brahmaswarupe. His own abode, which is entirely spiritual. Because the Gopala Tapani Upanishad says, Asam Madhye Sakshat Brahma, Sakshat Brahma Gopala Puri. The city of Lord Gopala is directly Brahman, directly spiritual. Atara Radhase iti Aishwaryam Ramsyate iti Madhuryam. The word Radhasa refers to Krishna's Aishwarya, and Ramsyate, Radhasa means by opulence, and Ramsyate means enjoys. Ramsyate indicates his sweetness. Yes.
Prabhu, in previous word, the Brahmanis or Parahamhamsas of impersonal who are awarded this benediction, their desired destination, they are Bhakti Mishra Gyanis?
They are Bhakti Mishra Gyanis.
Okay, if someone is a pure Gyani, he cannot be a Paramhamsa of impersonal type. No Bhakti.
What is a pure Gyani?
Like, I'm sorry for that. If there is no Bhakti there,
Then he goes nowhere.
means if he is in pursuit of Gyan without Bhakti, what will happen to him?
What will happen? He will go to hell only.
Oh, okay.
There are two sides of the transcendental manifestations of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. For the pure devotees, he is the constant companion, as in the case of his becoming one of the family members of the other dynasty, or his becoming the friend of Arjuna, or his becoming the associate neighbor of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. As a son of Nanda Yashoda, the friend of Sudama, Sridama, and Madhumangal, or the lover of the damsels of Rajabhumi, etc. These are aspects of his personal feature. And by his impersonal feature, he expands the rays of the Brahmajyoti, which is limitless and all-pervasive. Part of this all-pervasive Brahmajyoti, which is compared to the sun rays, is covered by the darkness of the Mahatattva, and this insignificant part is known as the material world. In this material world, there are innumerable universes like the one we can experience. And in each of them, there are hundreds of thousands of planets like the one we are inhabiting. The mundaners are more or less captivated by the unlimited expansion of the rays of the Lord. But the devotees are concentrated more with the devotees are concerned more with his personal form, from which everything is emanating. As the sun rays are concentrated in the sun disk, The Brahmajyoti is concentrated in Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. The innumerable spiritual sky is full of spiritual planets named Vaikunthas far beyond the material sky. The mundaners have insufficient information of even the mundane sky. So what can they think of the spiritual sky? Therefore, the mundaners are always far, far away from him. With their tiny rockets, they are having difficulty reaching even the nearest planet, the moon. Therefore, what can they conceive of the spiritual sky and the planets there? Even if in the future they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated to the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets in the spiritual sky. So the Lord and his residential abode will always remain a myth or a mysterious problem for them. But for the devotees, the Lord will always be available as an associate. In the spiritual sky, the Lord's opulence is immeasurable. He resides in all the spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikuntha planets, by expanding his plenary portions along with his liberated devotee associates. But the impersonalists who want to merge into the existence of the Lord are allowed to merge as one of the spiritual sparks of the Brahmajyoti. They have no qualifications for becoming associates of the Lord either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavan described in the verse Madhama, and here in this verse as the Swadhama of the Lord. This Madhama or Swadhama is described in the Bhagavad Gita 15.6 as follows. Natad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yadgatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. The Lord's Swadhama does not require any sunlight or moonlight or electricity for illumination. That Dhama or place is supreme, and whoever goes there never comes back to this material world. The Vaikuntha planets and the Goloka Vrindavan planet are all self-illuminating. The rays scattered by those Swadhamas of the Lord constitute the existence of the Brahmajyoti. The self-illumination of the Lord's Swadhama is further confirmed in the Vedas in the following verse found in the Mundaka Upanishad 2.2.10, Katha Upanishad 2.2.15, and Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.14. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyito bhanti kutoyam agni tameva bhantam manuhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. In the Swadhama of the Lord, there is no need of sun, moon, or stars for illumination, nor is there need of electricity. So, what to speak of ignited lamps? On the other hand, it is because those planets are self-illuminating that all effulgence has become possible. And whatever that is dazzling is due to the reflection of that Swadhama. One who is dazzled by the effulgence of the impersonal Brahmajyoti cannot know the personal transcendence. Therefore, in the Ishopanishad 15, it is prayed that the Lord remove this dazzling effulgence so that the devotee can see as a real reality. It is spoken thus. Hiranmayena patrena satyasapihitam mukham tatvam pushanu apavrinu satyadharmaya drishtaye. O Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotion service or bhakti yoga is the actual principle of religion, satya dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showing your real face. Please, therefore, remove the veil of your Brahmajyoti rays so that I can see your form of eternal bliss and knowledge. Yes.
Prabhu, when this verse comes, na tad bhasete surya, and Prabhupada is writing, whoever goes there never comes back to this material world. There have been controversy, like I know one student who stays in our base, and he is very much enamored with this idea of Jiva falling down and the associated controversies. And then the major point which he quotes is this: whoever is there, he never falls down. So we were never there.
There are also counter evidence. In Bhagavatam itself, we will see Krishna's abode will be referred to as Swalokam, our own residence. So it is not so easily settled like that. Actually, Abhinav Prabhu sent one reference from Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying that one should not contemplate too much about inconceivable subjects pertaining to the Jivatmas, and how they leave this world and so on. It will lead to spiritual problems. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that. Just recently, from 1 week back, he sent me that reference. The Jivatma is a Tatastha Shakti. So not only are we saying that we came from the spiritual world, but even after you go back to the spiritual world, you have the freedom to choose whether uh, to be there or whether to leave that world. Tatastha Shakti will be Tatastha Shakti, whether you are in Gauranga environment or Antaranga environment. That's not going to change. But when one leaves the spiritual world, it's not that he becomes like an asura immediately. Rather, he has a desire to serve the Supreme Lord in the material environment. Bajibo bolia ise samsara bhitare, bulia rahile tumi. So initially one tells the Lord that, I will serve you. That is why he's awarded the post of Brahma, first of all. Anyway, those who want to enter into this controversy will have to study everything in great detail.
Okay,
15.
then I'll be away.
Text 15. Yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, yadikshanam, yad bandhanam, yat shravanam, yadarhanam, lokasya sadhyo vidhanoti kalmasham, tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all auspicious Lord Sri Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayers, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effects of all sins of the performer. Sarva sadhanebhyaha bhaktehi shraištyam manusmaran pranamati. Then he remembers that bhakti is supreme amongst all the different sadhanas prescribed in the scriptures. He notes this in 2 verses, beginning with text 15. न केवलम अवतार समय एव तस्य तादृशत्वं किन्तु अन्यदापि इत्याह. This is not the nature of the Supreme Lord, his sweetness, opulence, kindness, and so on. These features are not present in him only at the time of his incarnation. Even at other times, all of these features can be experienced. Yat kirtanam. Yat shabda avrit yaika vachanena cha sakrit tatan matram apitya bhitam. Even if one glorifies him once, remembers him once, sees him once, offers prayers to him once, hears about him once, worships him once, still he'll be benefited. Tat prapti pratibandhakam kalmasham tat kirtanadhireva nashyati. The obstacles towards attaining him are destroyed by engaging in kirtana and so on about him. Yadikshanam, by seeing him. Ikshana literally means seeing. So yadikshanam means whose audience, or by seeing whom. By seeing whom means by seeing whose deity form. Subhadram sumangalam shravaha yashaha yasya. His fame is most auspicious. Iti kirti madhurya. This is the sweetness of his glory, his fame. The sublime form of religious performance is to free oneself from all reactions of sins, is suggested herein by the greatest authority, Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Kirtanam, or glorifying the Lord, can be performed in very many ways, such as remembering, visiting temples to see the deity, offering prayers in front of the Lord, and hearing recitations of glorification of the Lord as they are mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam or in the Bhagavad Gita. Kirtanam can be performed both by singing the glories of the Lord in accompaniment with melodious music and by recitation of scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. The devotees need not be disappointed in the physical absence of the Lord, thinking they are not associating with Him. The devotional process of chanting, hearing, remembering, etc., either all or some of them, or even one of them, can give us the desired result of associating with the Lord by discharging the transcendental loving service of the Lord in the above manner. Even the very sound of the holy name of Lord Krishna or Rama can at once surcharge the matter spiritually. We must know definitely that the Lord is present whenever such pure transcendental service is performed, and thus the performer of offenseless kirtanam has positive association with the Lord. Similarly, remembrance and prayers also can give us the desired result if they are properly done under expert guidance. One should not concoct forms of devotional service. One may worship the form of the Lord in a temple, or one may impersonally offer the Lord devotional prayers in a mosque or a church. One is sure to get free from the reactions of sins, provided one is very careful about not committing sins willingly, in expectation of getting free from the reactions of sins by worshipping in the temple or by offering prayers in the church. This mentality of committing sins willfully on the strength of devotion service is called namno balad yasihi papa buddhi, and it is the greatest offense in the discharge of devotion service. Hearing, therefore, is essential in order to keep oneself strictly on guard against such pitfalls of sins. And in order to give special stress to the hearing process, the Goswami invokes all auspicious fortune in this matter. 16. Vichakshana yacharnopasadana sangam yudasyo bhayatontaratmana vindantihi brahma gatim gatakpamas tasmai subhadra shravasya namo namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, the highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved of all attachments to present and future existences, and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. Sharnagati matramapi yasya siddhikaram ityaha vichakshana. Simply by surrendering unto him, one will attain perfection. Athoktam Sri Gita ante, it is stated at the end of Sri Gita, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Brahmagatim brahmaswarupa cha sagatihi gamyah lokaschatam. Brahmagati refers to spiritual existence. Without difficulty, they progress towards spiritual existence. They attain worlds which are spiritual. They attain the spiritual world. Vita kalmasha jnaninaha api yam eva bhajanti ityaha. Even the jnanis who are free from contamination worship him, engage in devotion service to him. Gataklama, without difficulty. See, the jnanis, by surrendering unto Lord Krishna's lotus feet, without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. This indicates anyetu abhajantaha shramam eva labhante, that the others who do not surrender unto the Lord, who do not serve Lord Shri Krishna, they simply attain useless labor. Sheyasritim bhakti mudasyate vibho, 10th canto, 14th chapter, text 4. Those who reject bhakti and simply engage in the process of jnana, they simply attain, they just attain difficulty. There's nothing useful that they attain. Lord Shri Krishna has repeatedly instructed Arjuna, or for that matter, everyone concerned with becoming his unalloyed devotee. In the last phase of his instruction in the Bhagavad Gita, 18.64 to 66, he instructed most confidentially as follows. सर्वगुह्यतमं भूय शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितं मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुच. My dear Arjuna, you are very dear to me, and therefore, only for your good, I will disclose the most secret part of my instructions. It is simply this: become a pure devotee of mine and give yourself unto me only. Promise you full spiritual existence by which you may gain the eternal right of transcendental loving service unto me. Just give up all other ways of religiosity and exclusively surrender unto me, and believe that I will protect you from your sinful acts, and I shall deliver you. Do not worry anymore. Persons who are intelligent take serious notice of this last instruction of the Lord. Knowledge of the self is the first step in spiritual realization, which is called confidential knowledge. And a step further is God realization, which is called more confidential knowledge. The culmination of the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita is God realization. And when one attains this stage of God realization, he naturally, voluntarily becomes a devotee of the Lord to render him loving transcendental service. This devotion service to the Lord is always based on love of God and is distinct from the nature of routine service as prescribed in Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or Dhyana Yoga. In other words, when we execute Karma Yoga, there has to be some routine engagement uh, from Navavidha Bhakti. Same thing when we execute Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are different instructions for men of different categories, and there are various descriptions for Varnashama Dharma, Sannyas Dharma, Yati Dharma, the renounced order of life. Sannyas Dharma itself means it should be Sannyas Dharma, Yati Dharma, comma, the renounced order of life, close bracket. Controlling the senses, meditation, perfection of mystic powers, etc. But one who fully surrenders unto the Lord to render service unto him out of spontaneous love for him factually assimilates the essence of all knowledge described in the Vedas. One who adopts this method very skillfully attains perfection of life at once. And this perfection of human life is called Brahmagati, or the progressive march in spiritual existence. As enunciated by Srila Jiva Goswami on the basis of Vedic assurances, Brahmagati means to attain a spiritual form as good as that of the Lord. Brahmaswarupa. And in that form, the liberated living being eternally lives on one of the spiritual planets situated in the spiritual sky. Attainment of this perfection of life is easily available to a pure devotee of the Lord without his undergoing any difficult method of perfection. Such a devotional life is full of kirtanam, smaranam, ikshanam, etc., as mentioned in the previous verse. One must therefore adopt this simple way of devotional life in order to attain the highest perfection available in any category of the human form of life in any part of the world. When Lord Brahma met Lord Krishna as a playful child at Vrindavan, he offered his prayer in which he said, Shreyasritim bhakti mudasyate vibho, Krishyanti ye kevalam bodha labdhaye, Teshamaso kleshale eva shishyate, Nanyad yathastu lat tushava ghati nam. Bhakti Yoga, the highest quality of perfection, is to be achieved by the intelligent person in lieu of performing a large quantity of spiritual activities. The example cited here is very appropriate. A handful of real paddy is more valuable than heaps of paddy skins without any substance within. Similarly, one should not be attracted by the jugglery of karma kanda or jnana kanda, or even the gymnastic performances of yoga, but skillfully to take to the simple performances of kirtanam, smaranam, etc., under a bona fide spiritual master without any difficulty attain the highest perfection. Okay, so I'll stop with this. Okay. आंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।